What's up? Today we're going to be doing the rear pads and rotors on this Honda Pilot. It's a 2016. Degeneration years will be in the thing. Let's check it out. So the first thing we're going to want to do is lift the car. This is the back of the tire or the car or whatever. Your lifting spot's going to be right there. You can probably see on the other side there's a little cutout that you will place your jack on. And once we got it lifted off the ground, it's gonna be like 7/8 or 22 millimeter. And we're gonna take all of our lug nuts off. Then we'll pop the wheel off. Boom. Then we have our caliper. It's gonna be two 12 millimeters, one there, one there. Go ahead and take it off. And then we'll just set this guy up there and off to our side. Then we'll come over here, take our pads off. One thing I forgot to mention, while your caliper is still sitting on here, what I like to do is take a flathead screwdriver, stick it right in through here. Yeah, flathead. So flathead screwdriver, like to stick them in through here, and then we're gonna pry to compress the piston so we can put this caliper back onto the new pads. Now we're gonna set this guy off to the side. There's a new pad because we just put it all back together. Then we have 17 millimeter, I believe it's 17. I think all we had here was like a standard or something, and it was some weird size. Then we're gonna take this bracket off. Then we'll grab a Phillips head and we'll come over here. Now sometimes these screws can be difficult to take off. You could grab an impact screwdriver, and what you do is you'd set it in and then hit the back of it. I'll try and put a link in the video description below for an impact screwdriver if you have a difficult time taking that out. If not, if you start stripping it, you're gonna have to drill it out. So next, we're gonna go ahead and take this off right here. Now, you have these bolt holes. I don't know what size and threads they are, but if you have a really difficult time getting this drum and rotor, because you have a parking drum and a rotor, if you have a hard time getting this off, you can run those bolt in each side and it'll kind of press it off. But this one was fine. Also, if your parking brake is applied, this will not come off. So don't try and press it off while your parking brake's applied, because then you're gonna mess that up. So now you can see this is our parking shoes, and this is the inside of the rotor. That's the drum inside the rotor. And now we'll work on putting it back together. Now, when we put our rotor back on, make sure you take your little rubber piece off of the old rotor and put it into your new rotor. Also, your little screw hole here, make sure you line it up because there's only one of those. And then we're gonna put the screw back in. Also, just wanna let you know, if you lose this screw or break it off in there or something, it's really not that important. The lugs are actually holding the rotor onto the car. Next thing we want to look at is your caliper bracket. So you'll see this is our slide pin. It's sliding. We're going to want to take this out and just make sure we put a little bit extra brake grease on there, because what can happen is these slide pins after a long time can end up locking up, and then it'll cause uneven pad wear, and nobody wants that. So now we're gonna pull these slide pins out. Kids in the background. And we're just gonna apply a little bit of that brake grease. And then you just kind of rub it on there and then stick it back in. That's it. And now our bracket, once we've done both, will be ready to go back on. So now we're just putting that caliper back on. You can see we lined that bolt up. He's got it down there. Now, with our new pads, you're gonna wanna see the old pad with the indicator on it, which side is the indicator on, and also which side of the bracket did that pad go on. So we know for us, this was on the back side and the indicator is on this side. So we're gonna take our new indicator and push it on here, and then we know this pad that goes on this side does not get an indicator because that's how it came off the old one. Good. So now I'm just gonna take this new indicator you'll see there's like a little indentation right there. We're gonna snap it on. Boom. So now you'll see this and our old one look the same. Pause. Now, if these pads are really hard coming out, you can take the new hardware that comes with it and put it on there, especially if you live up north. You can also, if it didn't come with hardware, you could just apply a little bit of grease. The main thing you're going to want to see here is that they slide really nice and smooth and easy. See, that's really nice movement. You can see there's no problem moving. So ours are really nice. It's still kind of a newer car. So we have our pads back on. The next thing we're going to do here is go ahead and take our caliper and set it on. We might have to compress it a little bit more. And what I did there is I took that other pad off, I put the caliper back on, and just one pad in there. I took my flathead screwdriver and compressed again like I did earlier, because if you're not using a C-clamp or a compressing tool, you may need that little extra oomph to get the piston in so it'll fit back over the new pads. Now, when you're putting this caliper back on, you see this slide pin? It can spin all kind of ways. You're gonna wanna make sure it's lined up, and right there it is lined up so you can put it back on and the bolt will go in and it won't be weird. Okay, we got our caliper bolts, the 212s, back in. Before you put this caliper back on, make sure you get your caliper bracket bolts, the 17s, or whatever they are, snug them on really tight, and then snug the 12s down, and we'll be ready for the next step. Now, one important safety part here, there's a minimum thickness for the rotors. So most of you guys, you might not have the measuring calipers. Even I have all different kind of measuring calipers, and I don't really even do it. What I do is the first time, if it's a used car, the first time you replace your pads and rotors, go ahead and replace the rotors. The next time you can do pads only. The next time do rotors again. And that will ensure you're gonna keep them safe. Now, if you wear them down metal to metal, and then you try and put pads on the next time after you just replace your rotors, of course that's not gonna work. So make sure that time you skip the rotors needs to be a clean pad change where the mating surface for the pad and the rotor are good. Okay. So now we're just putting the wheel back on. Everything's snugged up and tight. We just say good and tight on the lug nuts. I think the actual torque is like 85 foot-pounds or 95 foot-pounds or something like that for you people who keep track of that stuff. But other than that, you are good to go. Before you drive the car, make sure you get in, once you got everything back together, pump your brake pedal. It's gonna go all the way to the floor. You want it to be tight, because if you do that and you start the car, you hit reverse, you go to brake, you're not gonna brake because your brake pedal is gonna go straight to the floor. It's a very important step. Make sure you pump your brakes before you attempt to drive it. The other thing is to break these pads in, you're going to need to do, it's called like the 30-30-30 test. So you're gonna do 30 stops at 30 miles an hour for 30 seconds, like on the slow down, and that will marry the pads to the new rotors. You may smell a funny smell if you do it or you brake really hard. That's fine. That will all go away within like a day or two of driving. So that's going to conclude our video. That is how you replace the rear pads and rotors in this 2016 Honda Pilot. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.